Scotland is home to thousands of breathtaking castles, and narrowing down which one to visit can easily become overwhelming. That's why today I'm sharing 7 of my favorite castles in Scotland to make your own planning easy. Think ancient ruins commanding a Highland loch, abandoned Gothic mansions swallowed by nature, cliffside fortresses, and even a Game of Thrones filming location. This video will give you a mix of the classics you have to see, as well as the hidden gems most travelers completely miss. So let's dive right in. First up is Doune Castle in central Scotland. This one is a medieval castle from the 1300s, built by Robert Stuart, who was the Duke of Albany. He was actually known as the uncrowned king because he had a lot of power and ruled Scotland on behalf of 2 other kings. This medieval castle has survived uprisings, many centuries of royal ruling. Today, the castle is most popular for being one of the top filming locations in Scotland. It has seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it has seen Outlander, this is Castle Leoch, and then famously, or our personal favorite, it was in the pilot episode of Game of Thrones as Winterfell. So that's sort of what brought us here for the most part, because we're big nerds, but also the history is absolutely fascinating. Doune Castle is just under an hour's drive from Edinburgh, making it an easy day trip if you're using the city as a base. If you're a big Outlander fan, there are plenty of guided Outlander-themed tours that leave straight from Edinburgh and include Doune as well as other famous filming locations. I'll drop a great tour link for that in the description below. And since it's one of the most famous filming locations in Scottish cinema, the official audio tour is narrated both by Sam Heughan, aka Jamie Fraser from Outlander, and Monty Python's Terry Jones. But whether you're a film buff or not, Doune Castle is definitely worth a stop. Now we're moving deep into the Highlands for castle number 2. This is Kilchurn Castle, and it's easy to see why it's often called one of the most photographed castles in all of Scotland. The view here is what you probably picture when you close your eyes and imagine the Scottish Highlands. Kilchurn Castle was built in 1450 by Sir Colin Campbell. He was one of the most important lords in the Highlands at the time, and it ended up becoming a stronghold for the clan Campbell, who held it as a really strong force in the Highland for hundreds of years. It was also turned from the heart of the clan to military garrison as well. They had a bunch of barracks inside, and apparently some historians say that these barracks were some of the oldest in the British Isles. This house right here, the Tower House, is the largest remaining structure. It's 5 stories. However, what brought this castle to ruin was not any fighting or anything like that. It was actually a lightning bolt that struck the castle and much of it collapsed. So this fell into ruin from 1770. It has been completely abandoned and left to just kind of disintegrate over time. However, it's one of the most photographed castles in all of Scotland. Its location is very idyllic in the midst of this big valley with mountains all around, and it's sitting on Loch Awe, one of these beautiful freshwater lakes in Scotland, with the cattle grazing all around. So it's such a beautiful place to stop on your road trip. Kilchurn sits on a rocky peninsula at the northeastern tip of Loch Awe, with the dramatic Cruachan Mountains rising behind it. When you visit, be sure to stop at the panoramic viewpoint along the A819 for this iconic shot. Then head to the car park, where a 10-minute walk through farm fields will lead you straight to the castle. If you're lucky, you may even get greeted by Highland cows along the way. Now on to the ultimate hidden gem on this list. Number 3 is Buchanan Castle, and it's tucked just a short drive away from the village of Dryman on the road to Loch Lomond. This abandoned Gothic ruin is one you could easily drive right past without knowing it ever existed, and it's one of my favorite best-kept secrets in Scotland. We are at Buchanan Castle, which actually isn't a castle at all. This was a mansion built in 1852 for the wealthy Graham family, the chiefs of the Clan Graham here in Scotland. And this has taken over a couple roles over its very short lifespan. So it started as one of the largest private homes in Scotland, but then during World War II, it actually became a military hospital. And after the war, they weren't able to really keep up with the costs of maintaining such a mansion, and so it fell into ruin. It only really had about 100-year lifespan, and now it's completely overgrown, as you can see, so it's literally just a ruin. This isn't any tourist site whatsoever, but it's pretty cool to see. And the reason it looks like a castle is because it was built in the Scottish baronial style, which was a really strong architectural revival that was inspired by medieval castles with its towers and turrets, etc. However, one of the things that makes this place most interesting is a very particular guest, or you could say patient, that was cured here. And I'll go ahead and let Mossy talk about that since he's the war history expert.
The special guest was Rudolf Hess, Adolf Hitler's deputy, who in 1941 took a solo trip trying to negotiate peace with Britain and crashed nearby, was briefly treated here, heavily guarded, before he was transferred elsewhere. So, intriguing political mystery that has put this place on the map.
Something important to know before visiting Buchanan is that it's no longer officially open to visitors. The interior has been fenced off, but you can walk around the perimeter of the building on a nice path in the woodsy area around it. If your GPS acts up like ours did, just ask a local. They were super helpful in helping us find our way. It's a residential area, so you'll simply pull up in front of the entrance and car park, and you'll likely have the whole place to yourself. It's a real treat if you love visiting unique abandoned places. Next up is Castle Stalker, and this one is truly unique. Perched on a tiny island in Loch Lake about 25 miles north of Oban, this 15th century tower is one that intrigues you from afar. And if it looks familiar, it may be because you've seen it as Castle of Arg in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. What most travelers don't realize is that you can actually tour the inside of Castle Stalker, but only on select days every year. It's privately owned by the Stuart Aylward family, and guided tours run from late April to September with just one tour per day. They do sell out months in advance, so make sure to book early. But if you're like us and can't make a tour, the viewpoint from the shoreline is still one of the most stunning castle views in Scotland. Now we're heading to the Isle of Mull for the last 3 castles on this list, and if you haven't yet seen my Isle of Mull guides, I'll drop them in the description below so you can watch right after and learn why this island in the Inner Hebrides needs to be on your Scotland bucket list. But maybe I can already convince you with its fascinating castles. Number 5 is Duart Castle, one of Mull's top tourist attractions. Our first stop on Isle of Mull is Duart Castle. This castle is over 700 years old, and it's the ancestral home of the Clan MacLean. They have had it since the 13th century, and they still have it to this day. It has actually been attacked multiple times from other clans over the years, from big rivals, and it's positioned perfectly right over the water, so that way they were able to watch from all angles for enemy ships coming in. So the position is amazing. It's been restored stone by stone, I believe in the 20th century, but it still retains that ancient charm. When you visit, I highly recommend walking the grounds. It's sitting on a rocky headland overlooking the Sound of Mull, so you'll get these incredible views over the water, as well as the unique and dramatic perspective of the castle that's seemingly balancing on top of a cliff. We didn't get to visit the inside, but it is open for visitors from spring through autumn, and I also highly recommend stopping for a quick bite at the cute cafe right in front of the castle. Next up on Mull is Moy Castle, and it's one I'm surprised I don't hear more people talking about because the landscapes here are some of my favorite in all of Scotland. This was one of the strongholds of Clan MacLean, built in the late 1400s, and it's the oldest surviving tower on Isle of Mull. It was actually just left behind for the newer Loch Buoy house, which is right over there, in the 1800s, and so it's just been left to kind of decay over time, but it's a reminder of their stronghold of Loch Buoy in this entire area. Moy Castle may not be actively maintained for tourism, but you can walk right up to it as part of a longer coastal walk. This area has quite a few stunning sights to see, and I highly recommend combining your visit with nearby Lagan Sands Beach and Loch Buoy Standing Stones, which are a short walk from the castle. Finally, our last castle is Aros, just north of the village of Salem. We have made it to the ruins of Aros Castle. This one was believed to have been built in the 13th century, and it was of the MacDonalds, so the Lord of the Isles. And it was positioned right over the Sound of Mull, which we'll see when we get to the water, for this stronghold where they could see the attackers, the potential attackers coming. However, unfortunately, in the 15th century, it underwent a series of violent attacks during clan rivalries,
and it's believed to have been abandoned around then. So it's been left to just kind of rot, and now we see it dilapidated. Nature is reclaiming it, or actually fully has reclaimed it. So it's this kind of medieval remnant that's still sitting on Mull, lost in time.
Even if not much of the castle remains, it's the site itself that's where the magic lies. You've got dramatic sea views and the wild coastline, along with the feeling that you're encountering a piece of Scottish history that most tourists miss. The path in the area itself might be overgrown, but that's what I love about this place. It's a humbling reminder that even the mightiest of places return to nature. That's all for this one. I'll drop my free pinned map of Scottish castles in the description below that you can use for your own trip, which includes these ones as well as some others that I highly recommend. If this video was helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more travel guides and castle chasing in Scotland and beyond. I'll see you in my next video, and in the meantime, happy travels, my friends!